Because just like that movie, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Hello, and welcome back to What's a Safe Word? I'm Amp. We are going to talk about just the tips and tricks to getting into the kink community.
Tips and tricks? What does that even mean?
Well, person in the back, today I'm going to talk about some of the tips and tricks for new kinksters just coming into the kink community. And unlike your favorite breakfast cereal, these tricks are not for kids. Some might even say these are tips and tricks for your tricks. Say tricks one more time. Tricks. Let's just jump right into it. The first tip I'm going to talk about today is specifically for our favorite weapons of ass destruction, dildos. Did you know that dildos can get dents out of cars? Well, now you do. I feel like there should be an infomercial for dildos. Dildo dent. Are you always bound to have fun? Do you have too much rope and get it all mixed up? Well, do I have a trick that's bound to help you out in the bedroom? If you have lots of rope that all looks the same, well, electrical tape on your rope can actually help you organize your rope easier. Maybe black is 15 feet, orange is 30, and just a general rope color, 50. You can use this to keep all of your rope organized, and it'll make you seem like a more prepared dom when it comes to bondage. You're welcome. This next tip, the text replacement tool. When you're starting a new kink relationship with any new dom or sub, it's always important to use the proper names and honorifics. For instance, I have a daddy, Christopher, who I specifically use the honorific of a capital D when I refer to him in text or just when I'm talking about him online. Some of us have large thumbs and texting can be ducking hard. So whenever I'm texting Christopher, I always want to make sure I'm using the proper daddy with a capital D. In settings, under general and then keyboards is the text replacement option. And in this option set, you can actually add words into your autocorrect dictionary that will autocorrect if you use the wrong words. It'll automatically capitalize, turning fatty into daddy, satty into daddy, and even you're the worst into dad. Wait. Don't tell Christopher. This text replacement tool can be used in all sorts of instances and just help to dictate what you're trying to actually say to your kink counterparts. Along the same lines, let's say you're at a good old DP. You know, a dinner party, obviously. Side note, I actually have a friend who thought DP stood for dinner party and continued to invite all of her vanilla friends to her DP the coming weekend. DP doesn't stand for dinner party. Urban Dictionary, that shit. Anyway, let's say you're at a dinner party and for whatever reason you have your phone up like the idiot that you are, seated right next to your grandmother, and all of a sudden you get a phone call from your favorite kinkster. And maybe that phone starts blinking with daddy and your grandma is left to just wonder, well, wait, no, your father's right there. Who the fuck is calling? And when they see something that says daddy or fling or Jason from Grindr, hey Jason. Well, that's where this next tip is really useful. Underneath each phone contact, there's generally a notes or even a company headline where you can add in small things like nicknames, maybe even qualifiers like daddy or sir, or even where you met someone, maybe an event or a dating app. It really helps to not only organize your social network, but whenever you search through your function on the phone itself, if you type in something like daddy and that happens to be in the company field of a contact, it'll pop up as the first option and it'll help you find your daddy quicker. Because, you know, sometimes your daddies, you just lose them. Christopher? Wait, Christopher? Where'd you go? Lube. If you are going to be involved in any sort of sex, lube is so important. You can never have enough because if you tear something down there, you are going to be out of commission for a bit. You're going to be in a lot of pain. And at the end of the day, it's lube. You can get a jug of it for very cheap, I'm told. As for cleaning lube, water-based lube's pretty easy to get out with just a really strong detergent, but silicone or grease-based lubes are tougher on your fabrics. These particular lubes stay slick longer and they don't get sticky, so I personally enjoy them. But let's say you slip up and you get it everywhere, staining not only your fabric, but maybe your towels or clothes that just happen to be on the ground. Because let's face it, you're not really that much of an adult and you just don't fold your laundry all the time. To get that out, rather than clean it with detergent, which can sometimes lock it in place, it's best to use Dawn dish soaps or other bacterial soaps using a half and half ratio of water to soap. And let your fabric just marinate in that for a bit before washing it completely. I'm also told you can use Gooby Gone and just soak that in it for a bit and wash it completely after. Do you have a poly family or just a few kinkster friends that you like to make sure you can keep tabs on and make sure that they are safe still? Well, my family of kinksters uses this app called Life 360, which is kind of like a Find Your Friends meets Facebook. You can check in places, you can chat on the app, you can kind of just keep tabs on someone when they're at work or at home. It's not creepy whatsoever, I promise. Hey, Christopher's at Chipotle without me. Let's say one of your friends, your daddy, or even your sub goes to play with someone else, with permission of course, and all of a sudden you don't hear from them for a few hours, or you don't hear from them by the next day. Using features like Find Your Friends even, you can make sure that your friends make it home after a night of fun and debauchery, and that they've done so safely. Blindfolds. Now I bet you didn't see this one coming. You're getting touched, you're seeing things, you're feeling things, you're processing things. All of these senses can get in the way of actually enjoying the experience. And with permission, of course, a blindfold can be used to block out a lot of visual data and just allow you to enjoy feeling everything. Along the same lines, try everything at least twice. The first time doing any kink can be a little overstimulating and you might just be thinking too hard about it. I've actually done it before with kinks that I didn't really enjoy the first time because I didn't have good chemistry with a person, or maybe I was just too overstimulated. One huge tip, if any of these are going to be applicable to you, is to find the proper doctor. Having a kink and sex-friendly doctor is monumental when it comes to your health and your sexual health. Being able to talk to your doctor about PrEP or just safer sex means in general will help you not only be happier in the bedroom, but be healthier in the bedroom. One great tip that I always subscribe to is to sub in a new kink before I try and dom or actively be the top. A common misconception is that the subs in any kind of kink relationship are therefore weaker or lesser in some way. Not the case whatsoever. Being able to feel a situation or scenario and know what it feels like as the sub is going to make you a much better, more commanding and understanding top. This next one is super important and topical because I'm a little hungry. You know how when your mom asked you what you wanted from the store as far as snacks or food or something to eat, and you gave her a whole laundry list of different things from carrots to Cheetos to Doritos? Well, she finally goes to the store to pick up some things and wouldn't you know it, she just picks up carrots. Thanks, Mom. Well, you're probably asking yourself, what does my mom have to do with kink? If you give your significant other a laundry list of different kinks that you're into, it's going to be really lackluster and disheartening when they choose that one single kink on that list that you really weren't that interested in. When they ask you what you're into or what you want to do that night, give them a very succinct list. 2, 3 things max that you're into that day so that you guys can really focus on what you are looking for. Trust me, if you tell the top that you're into anything and you'll do whatever they want, I've heard some horror stories. Ever had a permanent marker stain or some sort of gel pen on any of your gear, neoprene, leather, rubber? If you have any dry erase markers, you can actually rub that over the mark, let it sit for a second, and then wipe it clean. The chemical in that dry erase marker is going to activate the chemicals that were in that permanent marker and get rid of it completely. Afraid of ruining your leather, neoprene, or rubber hoods? Well, don't wig out. Well, no, actually, do wig out. Get a wig head. Put it on there. It'll keep it from wrinkling. You're good to go. Let's say you don't have the money or means to get a wig head. Get a balloon, put it on the inside, blow it up, tie it, and you can store it that way. I can't even stress this tip enough. If you have a fucking question, ask the question. There's nothing more disheartening than a sub that comes back from a scene not having asked a question or specified something before the scene happened. Negotiating and communication is super important. If I have to say that one more time for the person in the back, then by all means, communication is important. Wait, what? I said communication's important. Well, along the lines of communication, aftercare should always be discussed. After you're done with the scene, what happens? Whether you're a sub or a dom, you both need to take time afterwards. Maybe it's to cuddle. Maybe it's just talking out your feelings. Maybe it's a large deep dish pizza. I ain't judging you. If that's what you need, I am there for that, especially if it's pizza. Whew, that was a lot of tips, which usually I'm not complaining about. And honestly, I have tons more on my list here, some of which came from you guys, thank you again. But I have tips for tops, tips for bottoms, tips for just about anyone. But whether you're new or you've been in the scene for a while, always have a safe word. And today's safe word is Titanic. Because just like that movie, this is just the tip of the iceberg of the number of things I'm sure are on this list. We'll get to the rest. We'll get there. So thank you guys so much for joining me this week. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like down below. If you have any other tips you'd like to share, leave it in the comments so I can include that in the next episode. And please, this week, share it with someone who really needs it. Maybe they're new, maybe they're old, or maybe they just need, a refresher. And I'll see you guys next time on What's a Safe Word. Bye. For the last 10 minutes, the red light on my camera has been blinking repeatedly for the battery, and I've just been holding my breath, hoping that it doesn't go out, because I am like literally on the last point here, and it's just